God loves you and I love you too. Feel the love and the unity. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love, we come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love. How's everybody doing? Good morning. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. Hello online too. Take a look at the person next to you. Say, I recognize the God in you. Feel the love and the unity. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together. We come together. We come together. Yeah, in the name of love. We come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love. Every walk of life, every creed and color, in kinship we unite, in honor of God and each other. Take a look at the person next to you. Say, namaste, I bow to you.
Namaste, I bow to you.
You feel the love and the unity.
Live your life in the unity.
You lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together.
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 In the name of love, we come together.
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 In the name of love. In the name of love. In the name of love. Oh yeah.
Can't go there. All right. Welcome, one and all. Lovely to have you here in the sanctuary. Lovely to have you joining us online as well. If this is your first time joining us, this is the Center for Spiritual Living in Granada Hills, a place where we welcome all who practice their beliefs in faith and love. My name is Reverend Dr. Michael McMorrow. I'm the Senior Minister, Spiritual Director here at the Center, and I'm joined today by our Assistant Minister, the wonderful Reverend Nancy Woods, who's been coming to this church for years. And our musical inspiration today, Mr. Jason Goldstein.
Good morning. Good morning. Hello.
So please feel welcome to use the chat for those of you joining us online to tell Jason how wonderful he is. And also, I forgot to mention this, Lily has a new CD, yes?
Oh yeah, she has a new song coming out.
She has a new song coming out,
Absolutely.
So look for Lily Passero on Spotify.
Yeah, Spotify everywhere you can find it.
Yeah, so let's really, mash her numbers up when it comes out.
Yeah.
All right.
Lily's
Along with Teresa James has a new album out as well. And so Jason Goldstein's new album is coming out.
November, actually.
November!
It's true.
All right.
It's true.
So we're all about creativity here at the Center for Spiritual Living, yes. All right, so let's just take a deep, conscious breath as we bring the lights down. And on that exhale, allow ourselves to just drop into this moment, setting aside the cares, concerns, the busyness trying to get here. Just allow ourselves this moment. The next hour is ours. As we come together for our call to service, which we call Lighting the Flames of Faith. And we perform this ceremony to promote the universal consciousness of life, which acknowledges that all peoples, all faiths, all sentient beings come from the one great universal presence, which we call Spirit. And that fundamental to this truth is the unifying nature of all religious thought and experience, which we honor here this morning. So as Reverend Nancy lights the first candle, it's for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium the natural way. We light the second candle for shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous peoples, the way of primal spirituality. We light the third candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. The fourth candle we light for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. The fifth candle we light for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. The sixth candle we light for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. We light the seventh candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of submission to the will of God as the highest calling. We light the eighth candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. We light the ninth candle for all forms of New Thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. The 10th candle we light for all those who are as yet unaware of the power and presence of Spirit in their lives, and for the space we hold for them here, within our sanctuary, within our online community, and of course within our own hearts. And as Reverend Nancy lights the healing candle, please put silently into the light the names of anyone you wish to have experience the healing flame of God's eternal love.
There is one flame that burns in our hearts. There is one light that shines through our love. We light this flame with faith. We light this flame with faith. We find this light within our own soul. There is one flame, one light within.
I am so grateful for this time, this moment. A moment in which we are gathered to honor and recognize the oneness of life itself. And as we know that this hour unfolds in an atmosphere of love, it opens up to allow each one of us to receive that which we are seeking to know and to experience in this moment. So as we know that that is guaranteed by the law of the universe, we just relax and allow ourselves to receive. As we know that this infinite intelligence knows exactly what each and every person is, we are one with that intelligence. We are one with that answer. We are one with that which says yes to life. And as we know that this atmosphere is one of love, we are assured of its fulfillment. So we can rejoice and know that this is a wondrous moment for us all. And we know that as the message is delivered, the songs are sung, and the service is offered, and the greetings are given. All of Spirit's beauty is choosing to reveal itself. So in acknowledgement of this wonder, in acknowledgement of our own individualized greatness in this process. We let the law fulfill the word. Therefore, we bring forth our acknowledgement of it as we join together in saying, and so it is. Good morning. It is a good morning. You in Southern California, don't we know how to do weather? Oh, it was interesting. I turned on my heat this morning for about 5 or 10 minutes because it was 6 to 8 degrees in my house. But I said, I'm in Southern California. It's always good. And I wanted to share a little joke one of my friends sent me. She posted actually on Facebook. She said, 5 minutes ago it was January, and in a few more minutes it'll be December. So she said this year has gone fast. And it has. It just seems like, wow, we got Halloween already. And I'm grateful. I feel like this has been a wondrous year. Wondrous for me because it seems like there has been a lot of people delivering beautiful messages to me. And it feels like I got back on that track in my belief system that we are evolving into a wondrous expression of society. Because I realized how many people I have experienced in the last 9 months or 10 months? We're going into 10 months. So many people talked about love. So many people express how we can do it better if we do it together. So many people have bought, and so now I said, oh yeah, I thought we were going on the right path. For a while there, I was a little bit in a doubt, but I've been reassured. We are really on a path of growth, expansion, and expanded awareness. That which was unusual and odd is now becoming a commonplace. It is a common awareness that love is the energy of the day. It is common knowledge that out of the oneness has come the many and the greatness of being. All of this has, we've been studying and learning and growing and expanding our understanding of this for thousands of years. But I just feel like now I know, as Deepak Chopra said, the veil is a lot thinner right now. We are beginning to understand that we all have the opportunity to truly step into our greatness, to recognize love in all the people around us. One of the things that showed up on my phone was this sweet little message where this person said that they've been meditating, they were thinking about the things in their life, and so he went to visit his father, who he said was very firm and stout and to the point. And he walked in and he saw this light around his father. And he said, he thought it was funny. He said he followed him in the kitchen and he kept looking at him. And then it hit him. Oh, all this time I thought it was him. It was me that had to open my eyes. And that's what is this about. It's my eyes that have to open to see the love and to see the beauty, see the divine in every being. And I recognize that I'm given that fine opportunity Because when I leave here today, I'm going to get ready to get on a plane and go back to visit my family. So I'm going to have to practice seeing the love. So I said, okay, Spirit, I recognize it, and you are giving me the divine opportunity to practice. Lots of opportunities. So I'll work at it. At least I know that it's just me turning around and trying to see the light. At least that's one step forward. I know it's complete. Yeah, because we realize it's easy. When I look out here before me, it's easy to see the light in all of you. It's so easy. I'm going to see if it's that easy to see it in my family. I'll try. And thank you for letting me share this.
Thank you. Good morning, you guys. Hello, online. This is a beautiful song. Here we go. When the best of me is barely breathing, when I'm not somebody I believe in, hold on to me. When I miss the light that the night has stolen, when I'm slamming all the doors you've opened, you hold on to me. Hold on to me. Hold on to me when it's too dark to see you, when I am sure that I've reached the end. Hold on to me when I forget I need you, when I let go, hold me again. When I don't feel like when I'm worth defending, when I'm tired of all of my pretending, hold on to me. When I start to break in desperation, underneath the weight of expectation, oh, hold on to me. Hold on to me. I could rest here in your arms forever, 'cause I know nobody knows me better. Hold on to me. Hold on to me. Thanks, you guys.
Thanks, y'all.
Thank you.
Resting in the arms of spirit. Okay, it's all right. It's a nice place to be. Okay. Very nice place to be. So, an announcement for anybody that's looking for a 2-minute tune-up. In other words, if you're looking for a way to lift that idea that is already fantastic, and let a practitioner help you lift it up. Spirit is all around you. And I see lots of practitioners. Hold up your hands, please, so that they know who to stop in to see. And thank you for that. And if you want a practitioner some other time, we do have them available on CSLGH.org, so you can go to the website and get in touch with a practitioner. We are having a potluck next Sunday, and we call it Brunch with the Rev on October the 8th, and it's at the end of second service. So if you want to get to know some of these people that are on this path, and if you want to join in while you're having a little good bite to eat, come and join us. It is always a very pleasant, sweet time. We have some loving people here. You want to be loved up? Come on back. And if you want to be loving, come on back too. We appreciate that. And we also have what we call a Fall Gratitude Festival. And Reverend, not Reverend, Kathy Theodore is in charge of that. Kathy, raise your hand back there. So if you want to, she has asked me to announce that if you have a business, donate some service to the thing so we can get the people at the church can get an idea of what kind of business you have. So be a part of that. And also, it's so much fun to get together and dance and sing and just have fun. Spirituality is fun when you let loose and let it go. And it's always a lot of fun when we get together. So join us. And that's on November the 4th. And if you want to help anyway, also see Kathy for that. So that's announcements. And would you stand and say the Declaration of Principles with me? We believe in one universal spirit, manifesting through all, natural and incarnated in us. We believe that the universal spirit is personal too, and reveals itself through everyone who recognizes its presence. We believe that our faith operates upon the law of mind, which automatically manifests in our experience according to that faith. We believe in the unity of all life, the immortality of the individual soul forever expanding. We believe in the eternal goodness, the loving kindness, and the givingness of life to all.
Yeah, I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light, and I'm free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Yeah, I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I will see the light, and I'm free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I will see the light, and I'm free in the Spirit.
watching you play that thing. So you can't see his hands moving around back there. They're like going this way, going that, and then they're going like this, and they're going like that. I can just barely go like that. Anyway, nice job. Jason Goldstein, let's give him some love.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Love him up in the chat as well, please. So yeah, October already. It actually felt a little bit of chill this morning. That was nice. So you know what Reverend Dr. Maureen calls 68 degrees, just right. All right. So today is the Paradox Mindset. With our October theme, we're going to be playing around, playing with paradox, and what that means. And so we're going to kick that off today. And so welcome to October, which means there's 84 shopping days till Christmas. Just thought I'd let you know that. Isn't that a lifting thought? So I thought we'd just talk about, so what is paradox? A paradox, the word paradox comes from the Greek para, meaning contrary to, and doxa, meaning opinion. The Latin term paradoxum means seemingly absurd, but really true. Seemingly absurd, but really true. So, paradox. Now, not to be confused with a paradoxes. That's the plural of paradox, is paradoxes. Yes. So, just God takes many forms. Yeah. So, nothing like dachshunds to prove seemingly absurd, but really true. Now, Brené Brown, a favorite writer, researcher of mine, she writes that in the Atlas of the Heart, she defines paradox as the appearance of contradiction between two related components. Contradiction between two related components. And so for this week and for the whole month of October, Reverend Chris Ashley, who started the Celebration Center for Spiritual Living out in Falls Church, Virginia, she's the one I'll be quoting a lot this month. But before we get into that, this is Convict Lake, where I was this week. Yes, just really giving witness to how inept I am as a fly fisherman. But it was fun. I mean, how can you be, you're playing in here, right? So even though I didn't get one strike with 3 days of working hard, yeah, I know. It's a lot more fun when you catch fish. But it's still time well spent. That's the paradox. Not catching any fish, but still living in, perfection. So Reverend Chris Ashley writes that we find paradoxes everywhere in our world, light and dark, are seeming opposites, yet one cannot exist without the other. You have to spend money to make money. There's a paradox. If you don't risk anything, you risk everything. Less is more. God is consciousness and matter simultaneously. And then she even has this fun one, jumbo shrimp. So, the human mind, she writes, is designed for either or thinking. That this evolutionary design was incredibly useful at one time, certainly for our ancestors, and still is important today for helping us to discern things. For our ancestors, it was important to be able to quickly tell if that movement in the side in our peripheral vision was the wind blowing the leaves or a tiger about to pounce. Now, today, however, both and thinking is necessary to solve the challenges we face in our society and the world. we must shift from black and white thinking to and binary terms like right and wrong, and open ourselves up to a paradox mindset. So this was, paradox is not a new thing. In researching this week, I learned that Janus was the one god that the Romans kept. They adopted all of the Greek pantheon, and they just gave him different names. But Janus is the one that the Greeks didn't have. And so this god, they would have put its image for beginnings and endings. So at the threshold of a doorway, for instance, gates in and out of a city. But it represents the way that we can hold discordant, contrary ideas, seemingly contrary ideas at one time. So we can, so they're speaking to, or Chris is telling us that we want to consider shifting from black and white linear thinking and binary terms like right and wrong, and open ourselves up to a paradox, both and mindset. Now, binary is kind of a fashionable phrase. Of course, it's speaking to, in today's usage, it's often associated with gender or sexuality. But the idea of, when you start looking at the theory behind this, that this is but one expression of binary thinking. And it's important for us to consider the ways in which we can open up our thinking to consider ways of being both and, rather than being stuck to one particular way of seeing things. So I think back in my own experience, being raised Catholic, a Boy Scout, on an Air Force base, my thinking was very much black and white. And I thought the whole world was black and white. That's how I lived my way through my 20s. And then as I got a little more life experience emerging into my 30s, I came to see that life was really a lot more gray than black and white. And then how to make that fit against this structure of knowing that I had up until then. So it's been an idea. I don't know that I would have called it paradoxical thinking at the time. In fact, I know I wouldn't have. But I have pondered such things. How to hold two seemingly contrary ideas and allow them to simply be, even to consider notions that right and wrong in some ways are relative. So, what are some paradoxical ideas that you may have for yourself? So for myself, one of my favorites is surrender to win. Now, I did not come from a surrender to win mentality. I just didn't, I was, like I said, I did all these things. I was also an athlete, and, there's, winning or losing, right? So you don't get medals for coming in fourth, right? And also, I've been kind of relating to this whole idea of the binary thing, not so much, it's not that I really understand it, but I appreciate how folks are trying to live a more authentic life with the life as they understand it. Because for myself, and maybe some of you can relate to this, because I was raised in this structure of traditional masculinity, let's just call it that, and yet here I was, this soft-hearted guy, right? I mean, enough so to where my dad would regularly call me a candy ass, right? It's kind of harsh, right? But I think people, particularly men who have issues with their fathers, I think really our fathers were just projecting the stuff that they were afraid that we might become if they didn't toughen us up or whatever the issue was. So how to be a soft-hearted how to be a soft-hearted man in a hard-hearted world, and how to be authentic with that and not feel like a wuss while you're doing it. This has been one of the great struggles that it was through coming to this teaching and learning how to embrace both and thinking, right, that helped. And that's not really an issue for me anymore. Of course, now I have a license to be soft-hearted, so that helps. So this paradoxical idea and this idea that some things are certainly relative, this is not to argue about facts, right? So a fact is. So, for instance, a fact, the sun is hot. Yes? And you may find an astrophysicist who tells you that actually our sun is cool compared to white dwarfs. But for me, anything over 130 degrees is hot for life on this planet. And certainly for me, if it gets hotter than 90, I'm like an old dog looking for a patch of shade. Now, in considering paradox, we are looking at how we think rather than what we think. How we think rather than what we think. And in fact, this really is one of the guiding principles, I would say, of teaching this thing that we call the science of mind and spirit, is teaching people how to think rather than what to think. Because it's not really important what I think God is. What's important to you is what you think God is. Am I right? You know, you don't really give a hoot about how I'm demonstrating my life, but you should have some invested interest in how you are demonstrating your life, yes? Yeah. So in considering paradox, we're looking at how we think rather than what we think. And so, for instance, humans have all kinds of bias about how the world works that extends even to how we interpret and experience the universe. So Carl Sagan long ago once said that humans are very chauvinistic in the way that they see the universe. And he was speaking specifically to Star Wars and how Star Wars was populated with all of these humanoid creatures. Because being human is what we all know. Now, I've been in enough bars to know that that bar scene was probably pretty close to the way what's going on. And it's universal. So the music could have been better, though. All right, so life. We need oxygen, liquid water, solar energy, some kind of energy source, yeah? So everybody knows this, right? Until somebody asks the question, well, what if it's not? What if that's not what's required for life? And where else can we look to figure that out? Well, it turns out that there are bacteria, which are growing things, bacteria here on Earth that live in volcanic vents on the ocean floor, where not only are these, it's molten rock, that's hot, it's more than 130 degrees, molten rock, and tremendous pressure. And yet, this is where it's really the only place that we know of that this bacteria can live. Or if you go up to Yosemite, to those really toxic, nasty pools around the geysers and stuff, that super toxic, acidic environments where they can pull out samples of bacteria even there. Now, it's bacteria, but it is life. And this is one of the great aspects of science, that the search for truth using paradoxical thinking. The ability to hold two seemingly discordant thoughts as being possibly true. That life in the universe out there exists, and it may not look like we look. And here's a fact, the scientific method, here's a fact. Is there a way the opposite can be true? So, for instance, it appears that the sun circles around the earth. is it possible that the earth circles around the sun? Right? So that was the way of thinking up until Galileo, who was basically excommunicated for having that view. So, a fact. Can the opposite be true? So here's a fact, here's a theory, and here's evidence to support the theory. I even built this thing, I'm calling it a telescope, so that I can prove that it's true. Here's evidence. Now, theory is not evidence. Theory is not fact. And no matter how many people think a theory is true, it is still not a fact. So generally speaking, facts are supported by evidence rather than by popular vote. Now, how does this extend to spirituality? Well, that's really the million-dollar question of the ages, isn't it? We human beings are unique on the planet in many ways, and perhaps the most consequential is in our incessant search for meaning. Now, what does this all mean? Right? What does all this mean? What is my place in the world? How can people have the potential to express love so openly and yet be so hateful at the same time? Now, there's a paradox. Now, science has stripped away a lot of the mystery of life. We now know that the world is not flat, that the earth revolves around the sun, that the sun revolves around a galactic center, that matter consists of tiny particles that themselves appear to be solid and yet have more space between them than solid material. That's a mind blower. So there's still, even with science, there's still plenty of mystery and awe to go around. There is still much to explore in the mystery of this thing called life that science has no answer for. That life is more than facts. Do you agree with that? Life is more than facts. Is that your experience of life? Yeah, me too. And experiences we may share in real time together, and yet at the same time differ in our individual experience and interpretation, which is the trippy aspect of being a human being. Right? So one of the most obvious ways that that's true is a group of people who witness a crime, and then the police get everybody together to find what? The truth, to gather evidence, to support, not opinion, to gather evidence, and yet people have these different experiences about what they witnessed. So there's still a lot of mystery. And I think one might say that humans invented religion to bridge the gap between that which is known and unknown, that which we can verify, and then the mysterious stuff that we really don't know how or why that it's so, but our experience tells us it is, or even leads us to suspect that there's a greater truth behind what it is that we think we are seeing. Or maybe that's what social media is for now. The first service thought that was funny. Okay. Or maybe it's scary. Right? So this month we're going to be playing with this thing called paradox, and to explore ways of being comfortable with it, to understand that in our thinking we often arrive at another question rather than an absolute answer. So that Ernest Holmes wrote that we must avoid, what we must avoid, however, is the confusion which arises from a belief in final revelations, from the belief that all truth is at last discovered, or that some one person or some one system of thought has delivered the last word. There are no finalities in any science, any philosophy, or any religion, and that includes this one. That includes this one. To be open at the top is to open our awareness to this expression of life where we remain and are committed to remaining spiritually curious without pitching the whole proposition altogether. So many people start asking themselves these existential questions. They try to fold in what one young adult once told me, the oxymoron known as religious science, right? And how to incorporate science within their spiritual understanding of the world. Now, this takes commitment. This takes time. It takes sitting still. It takes sitting, putting away the phone and the next email, and even making sure the kids, finding a place to put the kids so that you can have a couple hours, maybe to take a walk in the park, to be alone with your own thoughts, to set the business aside and knowing that everything that's going on right now is going to be just fine. But I need this 15 minutes, this half hour, this hour, this 2 hours to be still. Because these answers come in whispers. They come in a quickening of the heart. They have a kind of a spiritual breadcrumb kind of thing where one answer leads, well, if that's true, then what about this? Right? But we have to stick with it. And unfortunately, many people just pitch the proposition altogether and just say, well, I don't believe in any of it. I don't believe in God. Which is really kind of a semantics thing anyway. Right? So for myself, well, there are no finalities in any science, any philosophy, any religion. That's Ernest Holmes. Now, this is quite a statement from a guy who died in 1960. But consider this, that he witnessed the Roaring Twenties, the Great Depression, 2 world wars, the splitting of the atom. That's a lot of finalities in one lifetime that had deeper revelations behind them over time. So consider how this is true for yourself as well, that there are deeper expressions of life behind the experience that you are currently having. So for myself, with this idea of paradox, I choose to have a foundation from which really to launch all my queries about the meaning of life. I choose to believe and have had fleeting experiences of God as a placeholder word for the living Spirit Almighty. One, indestructible, absolute, self-existent cause. That this one manifests itself in, through, and as all of creation, but is not absorbed by its creation. The manifest universe is the body of God. It is the logical and necessary outcome of the infinite knowingness of God. And to the degree, now that's Ernest Holmes put that together, but he didn't make any of that up. Aquinas was talking about all of nature being the mind of spirit. And to the degree that I'm able to embrace this idea of truth in my own life, things work out for me. Things work out for me. And as things work out for me, I'm able to share with others. This lifts my heart. strengthens my belief and my commitment to serving others in ways great and small, offerings of loving kindness and compassion in my daily life. And the thing that I like is that there's still plenty of mystery in this practice. There are still plenty of paradox to go around. Now, this is my intention. It doesn't always manifest itself in my behaviors or my attitudes, but it's way better than it used to be. And the general quality of my life reflects this as well. And this is why being a member of spiritual community is so important, because I witness that happening for you as well. In all the myriad ways that your life is expressing your own consciousness of good. Right? That we get to come here as spiritual community to share what this thing, that our higher power as we understand it to be, by whatever name we want to give it, and respectfully listen to each other and celebrate the demonstrations and help shoulder any seeming challenges. That's what we're really here to do. So if you're looking for a place to land or you want to go deeper in this community, the answer is always yes. Please join us. The water's fine. So whenever I feel challenged, I know this with Holmes, that the riddle of the universe is a paradox. The question is its own answer. For the mind that asks the question is also the mind that answers it. So we're going to talk about this and explore this a little bit more through the month as we explore the paradox of a law of mind in action. All right, so let's take a deep breath. So think about, for my own, as I said, surrender to win. You have your own observations of paradox within your own life. So today, as we go through the rest of this day, let's open our hearts, open our minds to cultivate an awareness of how paradox shows up in our life and how this idea of paradox can open us up to a deeper understanding, maybe even an understanding that we can't articulate, but has a sense of harmony, of peace, of serenity, of knowing that all is well, that intuitively guides us into ways of practicing loving kindness with ourselves and with our fellows. Take that, practice that today. Take that into our work week. And then next week, let's come break bread and compare notes. See how it went. See you then.
I hear the music down in my soul. I hear the music down in my soul. I hear the music down in my soul. And this whole wide world is my home. I've got a new day down in my soul. I've got a new day down in my soul. I've got a new day down in my soul. the silence down in my soul. I love the silence down in my soul. I love the silence down in my soul. And this whole wide world is my home. I feel the power down in my soul. I feel the power down in this soul. I feel the power down in my soul. And this whole wide world is my home. Yes, this whole wide world is my home. Yes, this whole wide world is my home.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thanks, Al. Thank you.
Can you do that again with a little more feeling? Yeah. That was really great. Jason Goldstein, everyone.
Thank you.
So he's coming to Spotify in November.
Oh, yes.
Lily?
Yes, Lily, my wife, has a song coming out late October. I've got stuff coming out in November. Teresa has music coming out as well.
It's out now. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, it's out now.
It's out now.
There you go. 2 days.
And it's good. I listened to it on the way up to Mammoth. Yeah. It rocks. All right. So I'm going to ask Chloe to bring our offering basket up. And if you've come prepared with an offering today, not necessary, but if you have, just make your way up. We'll do a couple verses of our offering song. And for those of you who are joining us online, maybe take a moment to do your online thing. All right. Take it away, Jason, please.
Spirit gives to me, Spirit receives through me, Spirit lives and breathes through me. Spirit lives and breathes through me. The Spirit gives through us, the Spirit receives through us, the Spirit lives and breathes through us. The Spirit lives and breathes through us.
All right, so just going within for a moment longer. Take a breath with me. As we recognize and know that this basket represents both the generous heart of the individual and the receptive heart of this spiritual community, that by whatever avenue your generosity finds its way to our center, through online giving, through the mail, through your offerings here in person, that all of it is a demonstration of a consciousness of generosity that knows and knows that it knows that God is our source, our substance, our supply. So we accept these gifts as spiritual community with deep love and respect, as we know together they go forth to heal, to prosper, and to bless not only this center, but anyone connected to it in any way. That from this place of gratitude, we extend a blessing upon our community of Granada Hills, our city of Los Angeles, our state of California, our United States of America, all of its churches, temples, mosques, schools, universities, the people who attend them, the people who support them, that we know for our planet as well in some kind of crazy, mysterious, cosmic, wonderful way that all of it is an expression of the infinite life, the creativity, the creative impulse of life in ways great and small. And so to the extent that we know this, this lifts our heart and propels us into ways of spiritual living that raise not only our own lives, but the lives of those around us as well. And that's a good thing. And together we acknowledge this by saying, and so it is. All right. So thank you all for being here in the sanctuary. It's a lot more fun when people are here. Lovely to see all of you. Stick around, have some coffee. Love to meet you afterwards. And let's hear it one more time for Jason Goldstein.
Thanks, Al. Thank you, Mickey.
Give him some love on the chat, and we'll get the Rev to pray us out. I won't bother asking you to make it a short one. But I know it'll be a good one.
It truly is with a consciousness of appreciation that we are so grateful for this hour in which we have been given an opportunity to know that where we are right now is just perfectly fine, and that we all are on this spiritual path, knowing its infinite presence in our lives and through our lives. So we can rejoice for this opportunity and for everything that has unfolded with the music and the message, and realize that our lives is beautiful just where we are, knowing that we are the infinite intelligence of the universe, unfolding and revealing itself in so many ways. We can rejoice and appreciate it as we go forth to live in this paradoxical world with joy, peace, and harmony. And we acknowledge it together for a law that has said yes to us as we say, and so it is.
Please join me in singing the peace song. This is where we stand up and get in a circle, if you're new here. All right, here we go. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as a power, united all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous